War never changes. I really struggled to make this video, not because of the fact that it's about a game that I loved, it's the fact that I couldn't stop playing that game. Battlefield 6 has been an incredible game to get my hands on. Back when I played the beta with my friend Eric, we had a blast going through that and just reliving the old days of when we played Battlefield 3 together and just played so much over those beta weekends. And now I haven't got to wait for just the weekend to play it. Can play it pretty much whenever I want, which is kind of what I've been doing. Let's crack open a cold one and get right into it.
Deja vu, I just been in this place before.
So what makes Battlefield 6 just so damn good? Quite a lot, actually. First off, let's talk about the maps. There's, what, 9 I think we have at launch. Some are incredible, some less incredible. I'm looking at you, Sobek City. But it's really fun to have just such a good mixture of maps out there and to know that there's more coming as well in the future. I have had so much fun playing these different maps in different game modes and trying them out. And there's definitely ones which I love and prefer and definitely ones which I will opt out of playing. But that said, it's still fun. It's really, really fun. This game has been such a blast. A lot of the maps feel very expansive. Now, they're not as big as the maps that we're used to. We have got Operation Firestorm, which is like that callback to that classic big BF3 map. And I really hope we get some really good maps come back and some really nice callback ones as well. Like EA could do something really special here and just basically remake all the BF2 and BF3 maps and bundle them in. Obviously not all of them, but give a strike at Karkin at least. I think that's coming, actually. I could be wrong. I might have a fever dream of that one. It could have been a monster-induced dream. But either way, I'm super excited for the future of this game. And I didn't think I'd be saying that about an EA game because they're normally not the type of company that do good by the customer. And they seem to be doing so right now, which is really weird. But yeah, the maps are great. Definitely there are some out there which are appealing way more to the Call of Duty fans than I'd expect. A lot of close quarter maps. Some of them could do with a little bit more like space and breathing room. Some of them could do with a little bit more stuff around the outside, but these are nitpicking points that I'm making, okay? Each map feels different, each map feels special, each map feels unique in its own way. At no point did I get confused with what map I was playing because they don't blend together, whereas there's been definitely other shooters that I've played recently, Black Ops 7, where the maps just felt dead and dry, and they don't here. They feel really good. But what sets Battlefield apart from Call of Duty, for example, aside from actually being good, that's the class system and the way that this game is made up. You have a squad of 4 people. How you choose to make that squad is up to you, but you have choices of Assault, Support, Engineer, and Recon. So Assault is your typical, I'm going to go out, I'm going to be doing a lot of the damage, high intensity gameplay, getting stuck into all the nitty gritty fighting. Engineer, as you may imagine from the name, they're the ones that are focusing on vehicle repairs and vehicle destruction at the same time. You then got the supports who, in this game, kind of are very important. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a support main, but because you're the ones in charge of not only bringing your team back to life to save your tickets from going down, because every time you die, your team loses a ticket, and the first team to 0 tickets usually loses in Conquest, for example. So it's not just a support's role to bring you back to life, but it's also the support's role to supply you with ammo, supply you with health packs, and then generally lay down suppressing fire, smokes, things like that to keep your team safe. And then you've got the Recon class, which is your sniper, your spec ops, going behind the enemy lines or just keeping an overwatch from above just to make sure the rest of the team is safe whilst you push on certain points. And when your squad works together and everything is complement each other, there's not a feeling like it. Trust me when I say that I have had so much fun this last week and a bit playing this game, and what has made it really special is the people that I've been playing it with. We have had so much fun. We've had so many games where working as a squad has caused us to actually win the game, where it feels like it's you and your little team against the world, and you start picking battles with people at certain points and you go, cool, I want to capture E, and we spend like 10 minutes trying to capture one site, and it just feels like war. I think. Never been in war. I don't want to. I'm scared. Last night, me and the boys were playing, and we were playing on Operation Firestorm, big map. They had this special mode on for Battlefield Friday nights or something it was called, where it was like a 1,500 ticket map, which is huge compared to the normal 1,000 tickets that you get. And we're just trying to capture different points, and me and one of the boys are going for point B, and I'm calling for cover from the two of the snipers on the team, and it was just so fun. Like, it just felt like a game was meant to feel. It felt like a war sim, it felt like a mil sim, it felt really good, but at the same time, it was still like not too serious. I'm someone who's played America's Army. If you remember that game, you had to sit a test before you could be a medic, like an actual test. It was the weirdest bit of propaganda I've ever played. Crap game as well. The game modes that you can choose from as well are really interesting. You've got your standard conquest, and you've got breakthrough, which is like you're pushing for certain points to try and push down the map. Domination, which is your standard domination mode. If you've played a multiplayer shooter game before, you know what to expect with this one. Squad deathmatch, team deathmatch, loads of different options to play. I don't particularly like the deathmatch modes, but they're there if you do want that type of gameplay. But you haven't got to stick to the game modes that DICE have put into the game. You can make your own up. So there's this feature called Portal where you can actually make your own game modes. It sounds really cool because it is, but there is a problem with Portal, which we'll get into in a moment. Let me just tell you about it first. Not only does Portal allow you to make your own custom maps, but it does allow you to set your own rule set to it, as well as your own sort of like XP bonuses and all that as well. So you can make some really interesting stuff on there. Like the first night we were playing, we checked it out, and there's actually a version of Counter-Strike in there. We played Dust 2 and we kicked ass on it because we were playing it like Counter-Strike, and it was so good. It was a really nice break from war. And it doesn't stop there with just shooting game modes as well. There's also the ability to, learn how to fly things in there. So flying in this game is really complicated for someone like myself. When I played on Battlefield 2 and Battlefield 3 on my PC, I had a flight stick that I played with, and it was so much easier to play. Now it's a lot harder, but there's these game modes that let you practice that. The problem is that EA and DICE's servers are overloaded pretty much all the time, so you can't actually start up your own custom mode at the moment without running into an error, which is something that they're addressing. They have said that they are listening to community feedback, and they are actually increasing or looking at what they can do to mitigate the load on their servers to allow people to try their own experiences out. So hats off to them, and credit where credit is due. That's pretty good to hear after a week of the game being out, that they're already listening to the community and implementing fixes for it. Another thing they've implemented fixes for is the leveling system. And I haven't talked about that just yet because it's kind of literally changing as I'm talking to you. But as with any multiplayer online game, there is a leveling system to it, and you gain XP as you play. You get rewards for doing different stuff in different matches and different objectives that you complete. It's great, cool. You're always getting rewards, always getting little pop-ups, love it. Little serotonin boost, little dopamine kick, whoa, great, love that. The problem is when the game first came out, the amount of XP you needed to level up and to level up guns was really high. So what it meant was you weren't actually able to unlock a lot of the stuff you wanted to with the actual ease that you should have given the time and effort you put into the game. And they've addressed that. They've dropped back some of the requirements. They've actually upped the XP bonuses that you're getting for the game. Again, after a week, this is incredible that they're actually doing this. And it gives me a lot of hope for the future of this game, because it means that if they're listening to people now, what's going to happen in the future? Are we going to keep on having this really good back and forth with the development team and this really good sort of connection with the community, so that as this game grows, the community feels involved and feels loved and feels like they're being listened to, as opposed to other first-person shooter games where we're still waiting for an anti-cheat to work properly? And I'm not saying that BF6 is free of hackers, but come on. You've had 5 years of Warzone and it's still plagued with it. The weapons in this game as well are really good. Now, I'm someone who's a purist, and I said this before in the episode I did with Eric where we talked about a beta experience that we had. But playing the closed classes where you only are allowed to choose the weapons for your class is such a more rewarding, fulfilling and battlefield experience. But there's so much you can choose from. I was really surprised at how things have changed between the beta and now. And the fact that things have been moved around, different weapons were really late unlocks now as opposed to when we got them in the beta. The problem that you have is leveling them up, like I said, can take some time. And some of the challenges they have you do are absolutely ridiculous. You've got to get 30 headshots in a match with some of these challenges. There's one challenge where you have to get shots over 200 meters with a sniper rifle. There's only 2 or 3 maps that have the ability to have that much distance between you and the enemy. That's crazy. And that's where the XP farms and the custom mod servers come in, and people have been making them and just been sitting there. And the problem is they're taking up the space, which is causing the servers to be full. therein lies the issue. And they're bringing down the XP requirements and they're buffering how quickly you can get things as well. So overall, after a week, I can't really complain about the way that DICE are treating this. The way that the world is presented to you, the sounds that are happening, the constant like explosions and everything which are going on around you are just insane. It feels so intense, it feels so good, and it feels so fun. Like, I've honestly not had this much fun playing a multiplayer Battlefield game for so long. I remember when 2042 came out and my friendship group tried it and it was so bad. I was so hopeful for it. I wanted it to be good and it really wasn't. But this is incredible. Every time that we're playing together, it just feels as though you are quite literally at war. But that's not to say the game is perfect. There are definitely some flaws with it. One, the leveling system, like I said, it's still not perfect. It still needs a bit of work. The menu system is quite possibly the worst thing I have ever seen. I have never been so confused with a menu system. And I've been playing this quite a bit over the last week, and I'm still getting lost as to where I need to go. It's really awkward. That needs to be fixed because it's a really big deterrent for trying to play other modes. Or trying to find other modes to play. Do not like that one bit. Some of the maps could do with a little bit more like oomph to them, but those are little nitpicks. The menu system is the one thing for me which really does need to change. Aside from that, I'm very happy with the game that we've got here. I don't feel like I wasted my money on it. I've had so much fun playing it, and I'm going to continue to have so much fun playing it. It's definitely something which, if you are looking for a new online shooter experience, that I would check out. We have got the Battle Royale coming, which will be like a free version to play. So if you're on the fence about Battlefield, maybe wait till that and see how you get on with it. Be interested to see how the leveling system works in that as well, given how intense it is in the actual main game. How is that going to carry over to like the free Battle Royale version? Don't know how much that I'm going to play. We'll see. Hopefully it'll be a fun version though. We also need to talk about the campaign, but I haven't played it. So I'm not gonna, because it's a first-person shooting game. I'm playing for multiplayer. I really don't play them for the campaign. I'll check it out. IGN gave it a 5, but they also gave Dragon Age Veilguard a 9, so I don't trust them with that one. I didn't think I'd be gushing about EA as much as I have in this video, and it's weird because we're always a little bit hesitant with them because we don't know what they're gonna try and nickel and dime us for next. I mean, heck, they've got skins in the new Skate game, which is like 25 quid. I'm not seeing Beavis and Butthead run around. I'm not seeing Nicki Minaj and Snoop Dogg running around. I'm not seeing Roger and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Hero Turtles running around. I'm having fun. I'm having a lot of fun playing Battlefield. And when I message my friends to play, we get online, and it's just a laugh. It is such a good game, and it has brought me close to a group of friends that some of them I didn't even know before last week, and we're still having a blast. It's such a good time. Seriously, I cannot praise this game enough. If you can get past the menu system and figure out how to get into a game, which is not too hard, and if they can fix the server issues with, custom game modes, it's going to be a game which is going to go on for a long time. And so long as I keep on listening to the community and listening to the players and not falling ill of the COD streamer mentality that is out there about wanting kill streaks and all this other crap which is not needed in a Battlefield game, it's going to be a good game, and it's going to be a long-lasting one, hopefully, which is going to go on to give a lot of people a lot of good times. I seriously cannot get enough, and I urge you to go and play it. Oh, and as a side note, when you die, don't give up. I'm a medic. I'm coming to resurrect you. You will get back in the fight.